country of ours, we enjoy tremendous freedoms. We enjoy the freedom of speech and the freedom of religion, the freedom to go wherever we want. We have tremendous freedoms in our country. And you know, Jesus had a lot to say about freedom. And he said this. He said, anyone who sins is a slave to sin. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that just so true? We think about that. Anyone who sins is a slave to that sin. You know, the obvious example is that someone who is addicted is a slave and they serve the drugs or they serve the alcohol, or somebody that's prone to anger, they end up serving that anger, but it works. If you're a liar, you get to serve the lies. If you're a gossip, you serve that habitual sin of gossip, and so forth and so forth. And it is so true that sin enslaves and you start serving the sin. Well, Jesus said something else that's remarkable about freedom. Jesus said, if the Son sets you free, you shall be free indeed. You see, that's why Jesus came. He came to set the captives free, to enable those that are enslaved to sin to get freedom from being a slave to that habitual sin. You know, it's interesting to me that in order to get relief from a habitual sin, it takes a partnership between you and God. You have your jobs, God has his job to do. Now, I want to tell you some of the things that have helped me overcome slavery to certain sins. The first thing that you need to do if you have this habitual sin that you're trying to get out of your life is you need to accept that in fact you have this habitual sin and you need to really, really, really want to set it aside. Now you can't just say, oh, well, you know, I know maybe I should. You need to really, really, really want to get rid of the habitual sin. You see, many people have habitual sins and they love the sins and they want to accept the serving of that sin. And many people love the darkness more than they love the light. So you need to accept that you have a problem and you need to really want to solve that problem. When you get to that point and in your heart you say, God, I want to be safe from that sin, the first thing to do is to go to God in prayer. Say, God, I am so sorry. I'm sorry that I commit this sin. I don't want to do this anymore. God, please give me the strength. Help me. Show me what I should do. Now, some people say, well, you know, I prayed that prayer one time and God didn't drive the sin out of my life. Well, if it's taken you 10 years to develop this habit and get this entrenched in your life, maybe it's going to take more than one 10-second prayer. And what you need to do is you need to pray that prayer every day. Maybe pray it three times a day. The truth is, I'm one that's prone to anger. Every day I get up and I say, God, protect me from anger today. Please protect me from anger. It's an ongoing thing. And then once you pray this every day or 2 or 3 times a day, then God will show you what it is you should do. And then you need to get your courage to do it. And he'll give you the strength to do it. And, you know, I don't know what he's going to tell you to do. You know, maybe it's go to an AA meeting if it's alcohol or drugs, or maybe it's you need to take this person that you've been seeing and not see that person anymore. Or maybe you need to get something off your computer. Or maybe there's some verses. God gave me some verses he wanted me to say every day, and so forth and so forth. Find out what God wants you to do, how he wants you to help yourself. Then, as you're going through this process, maybe once or twice you're going to backslide. And if that happens, confess that and get back on the trail, because it's going to take a while. If it took you 10 years to develop this, it's going to take you a while to drive that sin out of your life. But if you want him to, and if you let him, God and Jesus will help you drive that habitual sin out of your life and give you relief from the slavery of sin. Well, I got 2 things I want you to do. I want you to consider this great truth that anyone who sins is a slave to sin. And also I want you to examine your life. See if you have any habitual sins that you need to deal with. Well, thank you very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Aloha. See you there. And if you find these videos helpful, please pass them on to someone else. God bless you.